Right, Range Rover, back again. You just can't keep a good Range Rover. It loves it here. It's been here for months and months when we were building it. It took a long time. And the owner, Mary, well, she's out in California now and they've split up with her husband and they've just sold the house this week, so it doesn't look like she's coming back here. So Thomas has been driving this around for the last 6 months. And he said he went to work and it came out to it and it wouldn't start. Range Rover, isn't it? So, what is the problem? Well, I spent a good 6 hours on this on Friday trying to fathom it out. I was getting nowhere. I had sheets and reams of papers and circuit diagrams and all manner of means of things to try and work it out. So, as you can see down here, I put the fuel pressure gauge on and tested it. And if we use the power probe, which is probing around somewhere, where it's going. That's it. So by using the power probe, I could put power into the wire that goes onto the plug that goes and feeds the fuel pump, so it goes through the inertia valve, so we know that's right. You know, always click your inertia valve to make sure it clicks down and the ball inside is settled, because if you have a bump or you go bumpy road or something like that, the ball can drop out and it cuts the fuel off. So that's the first thing we did. Got 35 psi on the pump, perfect, but no fuel. One of the things I was doing was looking at the circuit diagram here. Let's just quickly go through this because it's complicated. So you've got power coming in from your main fuse box, engine fuse box. Great, we've got power there. It goes through these relays here. Right, there you can see them there. This is the fuel pump one. And we've got brown and oranges coming out of here. It's kind of complicated, but this little unit down here, that's your engine ECU. Now, if you're any wiser with Land Rover circuit diagrams like this, positives at the top, negatives always at the bottom. It doesn't go the other way around. But the ECU, it switches on a ground. It doesn't switch a positive, it switches on a ground. So that's why you'll see the relay here, power's coming through, there's the solenoid inside the relay, goes through this connector and it goes to the ECU. That in turn will switch the power onto this relay, which then goes to the pump. Easy, isn't it? Except in this case it wasn't. So the first thing, you always do the easy jobs. And this is the relay box. I took the cover off. And I think we changed this out because it was, we took this one out, the old Disco, 97 Disco. You see there's no corrosion in it, everything looks good. This is the fuel pump relay and it wasn't switching on. And when I put a little bit of pressure on there and put the points together, it would run, you know, the pump would run, but the car wouldn't. So there's something going on. Not with the pump, that's okay. Is it this? Because these are notorious for giving up. But when I look at it, I thought, well, it's pretty bloody good, really. There's nothing untoward. This little relay here locks on. So is this for the engine management? And is this one for the fan control? I do believe so, because that's what it says on here. Secondary air injection valve relay and heated oxygen sensor. But I don't know. Clutching at straws. Now, if you remember when I was building this engine is a 4 litre out of the 97 Range Rover Discovery. It was a very good engine and it fitted great. It was just like nuts and bolts because the original engine was the engine with the V-belts on, 3.9. Now, again, if you'd have to cast your mind back, but we only had half an engine, we only had the block. We didn't have any electrics and nothing. So that's why we plumbed for this one, because this was all complete with the ECU and everything. And this is where I got into a lot of trouble. Because the ECU needs a signal from the body control unit for security. The body control unit gets its signal from your key fob or putting your key in the ignition, because the two are usually tied together. So once it's got that signal, it sends a signal to the existing ECU there, to say, yeah, everything's fine, this isn't a stolen, you know, nobody's trying to steal me, turn it on. The problem we had is that we didn't have the body ECU and we didn't have the key for the car. So that made life just that bit more complicated. So I got an ECU that was unlocked, allegedly from the UK, and it didn't work. So then I contacted RPI, and they sent was one out, this one here, and it was kind of expensive, and it worked. You plugged it in and it worked. Now this has got me thinking now, because as that computer, as that ECU there, gone into a mode where it's locked us out? I can't tell because I haven't got one. I haven't got a car to test it with. If I had another Range Rover, I'd just put it in, and if it starts, then we know it's not that ECU. So I'm kind of stuck. The other thing, I'll shout this out because it was kind of interesting what they write on the side. Do not perform security learn. Don't perform a security learn. So obviously it's been unlocked electronically, not like manually by bypassing wires or something like that. So that's beyond me. So why don't I contact RPI? They're no longer in business. Bugger. So an option we had at the beginning was to put a mega squirt system on. And I'm looking at those now and I'm thinking, yep, I think that would be the easiest thing, because the Mega Squirt's kind of a popular thing, and they do a full kit for a V8. It's not the cheapest of kits, but they do a full plug and play kit. So that would be nice for me, because all you've got to do is take off the old sensor or the old wires and clip this one on, and it'll work, in theory. And we've sort of got everything here on this car. We've got the airflow meter and all the bits and pieces, but I think they all come with a kit. We've got throttle positioning sensors. I don't know. Should we? I don't know. But we have to get rid of that Achilles heel of that ECU, because if it is locking us out, then it's pretty bloody useless, isn't it? Because, you know, like Thomas was only in town and he got it towed back to his house. But what if you're in the middle of nowhere, middle of winter? That's no good. So you want something that's reliable. Ah, dear. Anyway, we'll have to have a word with Thomas and see what he said and see how deep the pockets are. I'd be like to get paid and finished off from last time. So that's why I'm a little bit reluctant to get my dosh out, should I say, and buy it, and then, you know, not get paid again. Sod that. So that's what we're up against. So this now can come out. We'll shove it outside. Like I say, I spent 6 hours on it the other day, and I was just running around in circles, because, like I say, when you get something like this, substitution is the best way of testing, and there aren't that many of these engines around anymore. That's the problem. I didn't realise when we did this that there was a security lock on these ECUs, and it's electronic, and I don't know how to do it. So there we go. We'll keep you posted. Ta-da!